Some stories deserve more than 4 minutes. There are places that don't announce themselves. You don't come here with a checklist or a plan. You just find yourselves there, drawn by the water, the weather, and time. McClellanville is one of those places. I came here just on an afternoon bike ride, not chasing any story specifically, and I ended up finding a story about a local clam harvester and the link of those clams into our food system. What I found was something slower, more layered. A town shaped by the sea and the people that call this place home. Recently, I had a chance to work with the Post and Courier to put together a short film about my experiences on that day, and what you're about to watch is the short video that we produced together. Afterward, I'll share a few reflections of my time here and why this place keeps drawing me back. Beautiful day today for a ride. Currently looks like 60 degrees outside, bright sunshine. I'm headed to a beautiful little fishing village on the east coast. Not too far of a ride. About an hour north of Charleston lies the small waterfront town of McClellanville, South Carolina. Viewing the town from above, my drone Nomad gives you a view that no amount of riding can. The sweep of the marsh, the cluster of the shrimp boats, the way the town holds on to the coastline like it's guarding something precious. Riding into McClellanville feels like stepping back in time. Hey, I'm Duncan. I explore South Carolina's backroads, hidden places, and the stories behind them. I made my way to the docks first. That's the heartbeat of the town, where the water shapes everything. I had pulled my bike up and was getting ready to walk around and shoot some photos around the shrimp boats when I noticed that Josh had pulled up in his van, and shortly thereafter Bob showed up in his worn pickup truck towing his boat. I recognized right away what was happening, the time-honored transfer of these freshly harvested clams being sent to market.
With pride, Bob showed me his harvest. They transferred probably 10 bushels of clams, and then I had a chance to talk with Bob a little bit. He's a proud Vietnam veteran, and he settled into McClellanville after his tours of duty. We talked about Hurricane Hugo, how it almost leveled and wiped the town of McClellanville off the map. These guys, they're the reason places like McClellanville keeps going. No pretense, no theatrics. Just honest work. Their day isn't glamorous. It's mud, sweat, tide charts, and gear that breaks down at the worst possible moment, and weather that doesn't care about your plans. But standing there with them, you feel the pride, the toughness, the simplicity of earning a living from the water. From the docks, I headed toward T.W. Graham's, a small restaurant that feels like a living scrapbook of the town. I ordered lunch, simple, fresh, exactly what a place like this should serve. And for a moment, sitting there, it felt like McClellanville itself was slowing down to match my pace. Eventually, the shadows started getting longer, and it was time to point the GS toward home. I found myself thinking about Bob and Josh, about T.W. Graham's, and the quiet pride and the town that doesn't try to be anything except what it already is. It turns simple moments into something that sticks with you long after the ride is over. A reminder that meaningful stories aren't always thousands of miles away. Sometimes they're right here, tucked inside a quiet fishing town, one tank of gas from home. The world is still full of honest stories. Good people doing quiet work, places that deserve to be seen, and for me, that's reason enough to keep riding. What you don't see in 4 minutes is the space between things. While I was walking around on the docks, I even ran into one of the local residents who I had met before. She lives in one of those old waterfront homes. She's connected to Bob, the clam harvester in the piece. Small town. Stories loop back on themselves here. If you enjoy these stories, you might like to check out the website that I've built at adventureswithduncan.com. It's where I share deeper reflections from my travels, photography galleries, and some of the images from these journeys. If you're curious, take a look. Every time I come back to McClellanville, it feels less like a destination and more like a conversation. One that started before I arrived and will continue long after I'm gone. Places like this don't try to impress you. They ask you to slow down, to notice. The light on the marsh, the creak of the docks, the rhythm of the water against the wood. If you spend enough time here, you'll come to find out what endures isn't just the landscape. It's memory, work, and belonging. I'm grateful to the Post and Courier for a chance to tell a small part of this town's story. And I'm grateful too for the chance to return, camera in hand, and to listen a little deeper. The newspaper told the facts, but riding through town and being here, you feel something else. Sometimes the real story isn't the headline, it's the time you spend listening. And often, hidden gems like these are less than a tank of gas away from home.